The main event arrives on February 5th, and it's a pretty big deal for the WWF. They're airing live on NBC. Really awesome build, and reported 15.2 Nielsen rating and 33 million viewers. Both are records in the American television market. Yeah. So just incredible. You worked with the great Harley Race here, but it's a dark match. Is it disappointing not to have been televised on a match on such a huge event?
Hell yeah. You know, you always want to be on the show. You know, you never want to be the dark match, but at least it was still a payday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, I think that a lot of performers, at least from what I've heard, they view that as like, you know, at least I'm on the card. It's a hot crowd or whatever. But man, it
hurt a little bit.
Does wonders for marketing to be on TV for that kind of shit.
Yeah, it does.
Well, we all know what happens here. It's the famous switcheroo with the Hebner brothers and the plastic surgery angle to get the belt off of Hogan before Mania. So Andre attempts to gift the belt to DiBiase, but it would, of course, be held up. And that's what brings us to the tournament at WrestleMania. Jake, the Hebner brothers, the screw job finish, plastic surgery. As a guy who had done some booking yourself, what did you think of this story?
I loved it. It worked.
It certainly did. And it's, you know, I think that a lot of people point to it as one of the best stories ever told in professional wrestling. And it's like, I don't know, that might be a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's a bit far.
I know that the Mega Powers is, you know, considered a great one. NWO, of course. So like there have been a lot of good stories, but man, that's certainly memorable.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, DiBiase is WWF champion. You know, I referenced it here. Andre tried to gift it to him, and some people consider it a title reign for DiBiase. Most people don't. I don't think that WWF acknowledges it.
No.
So do you think WWF missed the boat by not making him a champion and having Hogan chase?
Yeah, I do, man. But they decided not to do it. They decided to go with what they did. And what are you going to do, man? Yeah, DiBiase would have been a good champion.
No doubt. You know, it stinks. It's one of those things where I think that, you know, we talked about it last week with Bad News Brown and Vince McMahon kind of making promises and whatnot. I had heard similar stuff when it came to Ted DiBiase. Did Ted ever talk to you about wanting to be champion, or it wasn't really his thing?
Oh, it was his thing.
Oh, he wanted to be.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
definitely.
He got to be the $1 Million champion. Carry that thing around. So I guess that's cool.
Yeah, he had his own belt.
I did want to ask you, Jake, and I should have brought this up when we were talking about it on the DiBiase episode a while back, but you took his $1 Million belt, obviously, as we discussed. Were you traveling with it?
Oh, yeah.
So I've heard that thing is pretty expensive.
Yes, it's very expensive.
So
yeah, keep it close.
So yeah, it's, you know, we just saw where, and I think it was an angle, but Wardlow got his vehicle broken into. We heard the same thing about Jericho years ago with the AEW title. Somebody stole it. It's like, do you have that thing in like a fucking Halliburton? Like,
yep, Halliburton, and you never leave it alone.
So you got to be like James Bond and like handcuff it to you.
Yeah, no shit.